I'm completely operational and all my circuits are functioning perfectly.
Welcome on board the Air Wagner Golden Eagle. So today we're going to do an IFR flight, and for something a little different, we're going to focus on the Garmin GTN-750 and the G600, same function as the G500, and give you a perspective of doing it as it comes up, whether it's putting the flight plan in, changing the route, changing the frequencies. And we're going to focus mainly on the instruments on this flight, give you a little bit different POV, point of view. No cute dog videos, no other, stupid dog tricks or anything like that. I don't think. You might have a few stupid sound bites mixed in, but other than that, come and ride along, and let's take an IFR trip. All right, let's fire up the old Garmin Pilot and file our flight plan. So we're going to go to trip planning, add a trip. We're going to use Leodis Flight Services. We're going to depart KAUN, Auburn. And we're going to go destination of Oakland. Say it's something that you haven't done before, so you're just going to go ahead and leave the routing as direct. Cruise altitude, we're just going to put, let's see what it looks like here. 8,000 looks like the number. We'll take that. And we have one person on board. And then we go up here and let's see, let's make sure. 5 and 3 Sierra Juliet, Auburn to Oakland direct, leaving 7:40. It's now 7:38. So that'll be in the system when we pick it up in the air. Cruise altitude 8,000 feet. And fuel quantity, let's change it again to 180. It didn't take. So we're going to put 180 gallons. Then it calculates the endurance. One person on board, no remarks. So we go back to the top and we hit file. It's filing. It should come up and say that it's okay, successfully filed, and then it'll get a rogered confirmation from the flight service. Oh, and then we're going to put the simple flight plan in, and we will transfer it over to the GTN-750. So let's go back while it's syncing. Let's go back to the map. On the overlays, let's change the overlays to the IFR chart and low airways. Okay, we'll pull it in a little bit. Now we'll tap at the top, and we're going to change the flight plan. We'll just start from 0. We'll go KAUN space KOAK. Hit the route. It's figuring out the route. You tap out of it, and if you wanted to tap and see the route, it's simply that. It'll probably take us to Sacramento and then Sonol. So let's say you want to do that. So you want to edit the route. So you go in here and you tap in to the middle of them. So you say Auburn. Let's do a SAC VOR, and then Sonol, SUNOL. So that'll be in there. Now you look at the route, and it changes a little bit. It jogs over at SAC, then goes to Sonol, and then makes a sharp right turn over to Oakland. So we're going to transfer that to the airplane, and we're filed, and we're good to go. There's our charts for Oakland. If you wanted to brief the chart, take a look at it. We'll probably be doing the ILS or the RNAV. They use the same intersections. 207 is the minimums. And let's go ahead and see if Oakland has some reporting weather right now. They have a TFR. What's the TFR for? Okay, Oakland Coliseum against the Dodgers. All right, not worried about that. we'll go in and see the weather. Marginal VFR, Oakland right now, wind 2606, ceiling 1500, 1500, 10 miles visibility. So it's going to be overcast. I checked, this is your typical spring, summer. Well, it's not yet spring, but it's close to it. Okay, so there's our routing that showed up. So we either ignore it, activate it, brief it, activate and brief. We're just going to ignore it right now. But it shows that the flight plan has been received. All right, let's pull the plane out and get going. Well, a little change in plans here. It seems that I jumped in the airplane and it has a dead battery. So we're putting a charge on it. What happened was this light got bumped somehow and it was on and drained the battery. 24-volt battery down to 9 volts, not good. So I got to put some charge on it. Get enough in there so when I jump it that it'll excite the alternators and charge the batteries up. So a slight delay today.
All right, we are started. We charged the batteries for an hour and then I got a jump to start it, and now we're charging. First thing you can see here is connected to the iPad, no databases on the portable device, so we're going to continue. Over here, I like to put up traffic. All right, it's time for the all-important checklist. All right, I'm up to the checklist part of flight instruments and radio set. So here, we are going to take the Garmin Pilot and tell it to send the flight plan to the GTN-750. The message comes up. We tap message, new flight plan, Auburn, Saxon, Oakland. We're going to activate it. So now it's all activated in here. So when we check in, we have it. And 22.7 is the frequency for Auburn. 27.4 will be, push that down and hold it. And 27.4 will be our departure frequency. Okay, finish the checklist. All right, all important checklist is complete. All right, anybody else in the pattern? Just the one guy over there, okay. Let's do a spin around here and look for pattern traffic. Nobody in 7, nobody visible in 2.5. Our traffic, Golden Eagle 5 and 3, Sierra Juliet, taken runway 25 and left crosswind departure, departing air to the south, Auburn. All right, time, check. We use the whole runway. Transponder, check. Traffic, check. DG, double check. Full mixture. We wait for the fuel flow to come up first. Full power. Brakes on, full power. Nice and slow. Okay, high 40s. For the fuel flow, we switch to airspeed now. 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 95. A little bit of back pressure. Tap the brakes, pull the gear up. Pitch for blue line. Upper traffic, Golden Eagle 5 and 3, Sierra Juliet is departure Lake 25. Slight left turn for noise, about to make the left crosswind outside the other plane turning crosswind to downwind. Auburn.
Auburn traffic, Piper 33 Lima is left downwind 25. Have the departing traffic inside Auburn.
Traffic, 10 o'clock, high, less than 1 mile.
Okay, we got him. Okay, we're just going to go towards 200, towards Oakland. There's our 1000 AGL. Bring the power back. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the autopilot on. We're going to recenter the needle on the 750. Heading for Sacramento. And let's just stop at, we'll go 6,500 is VFR here. And we'll call departure and get our clearance after we set up the fuel. When you're getting your IFR, they'll tell you, get in the system. If you're flying, file IFR, even if it's VFR, get in the system. That's what we're doing.
Hotel Mike, VFR request.
You're going to have to stand by. November 5223 Alpha, NorCal approach. Are you still on frequency?
NorCal, good morning. Golden Eagle 513 Sierra Juliet, IFR in the system, ready to copy clearance, Auburn, Oakland. So while I'm waiting, I'm going to go direct to Sonol since we're VFR. I think we'll get that. He's pretty busy. Let's see if he comes back. He's doing a couple different frequencies.
Approach 125.4.
125.408 Juliet.
November 513 Sierra Juliet, NorCal approach squawk 4206.
4206, and we're ready to copy when you are, 3 Sierra Juliet.
Roger, I'll let you know when I'm ready.
So we got a good tailwind here, 6-knot tailwind, climbing out here at 1,000 feet a minute, indicating a buck 12.
November 3 Sierra Juliet, radar contact, 7 miles southwest of Auburn. Say your altitude. Sacramento altimeter 3005.
3 Sierra Juliet climbing out of 5,900.
November 3 Sierra Juliet cleared to Oakland via direct Sonol, then direct, climb and maintain 7,000.
513 Sierra Juliet cleared to Oakland, direct Sonol, direct 7,000. Okay. Let's go. Okay, so look at the flight plan here. So if you really want to, you could take SAC and remove it, because now we've been given Sonol to Oakland. So we're going direct to Sonol right now. If you look at the, you hold this down, and if you pull this out, I'm going to use a pen here so it's easier. You pull it out, you see we're going Sonol, and then a right turn to Oakland. So I like to go in. You can also pinch it in. There's our level off. Our temps are looking good. Everything's in the green. Okay, so let's say that we want to know what's happening in Oakland. Earlier it was 1,500 overcast. What is it now? Oakland, let's see the latest. Waypoint info, weather data, wind calm visibility. Now it's broken at 15, but overcast at 18. Now it's at 1653. That was only 11 minutes ago. So it's staying that way. Temperature 112.6. So you can count on using
Navajo 9 Tango X-ray, checking in with you 5,000.
either the ILS or the RNAV. Well, we can't, we're too far away for their ATIS. Anyway, if you want to know what else you can get on here, I'll put the pen away here. I use my finger. Got a couple nicks on it, working around the house. Okay, info Oakland, 9-foot elevation. You know, my joke I like to do on the controllers is they say, 3 Sierra Juliet, what's your final altitude going to be? Sir, we're going to go to the field elevation for Oakland. Sometimes you get a laugh, sometimes you get a, what a jackass thought. Okay, here's a preview, Oakland, you got the big runway here for the big guys, and then us little GA guys, you got the 2.8s left and right, and then 3.315. Procedures, there's a ton of them there, of course, ILS, localizer, RNAV, visual approaches. The runways, you can see what they are, 2.8 right, 5,400 feet by 150. 2.8 left, that's what Southwest lands on when the other one's closed. 6,200 by 150. You got the big ones for the big guys, 10,520 by 150. That's the commercial airliners use that one. And then 1533 is a 3,300 by 76 feet and 75 feet wide. So those are the runways. We're going to leave it on 2.8 right here. And then the frequencies, of course, you got the ATIS clearance. And ground, that's ground for the big guys. 121.9 is the ground for the small guys on the north side. Tower 18.3, they have more than one tower. 27.2, also 24.9. So you got to know which one you're going to get, or just wait. The Unicom doesn't come into play very much. And then the Oakland radio 22.1, 22.2, or 3 or 5. They're all nearby. Weather we already did, 1653, still 1800 overcast. NOTAMs, all a bunch of NOTAMs, crane and a bunch of things. I think Vice President was in there yesterday, so they'll probably have that in there as a temporary flight restriction. So we're going to go to home, hold it down. Boom, we got traffic over here if we want. So do you want to pick a approach now? Let's do the RNAV today. Okay.
Number 0, Hotel Mike, contact approach 125.4.
Switching 0 Hotel Mike.
All right, so we're going to go Oakland, load procedure. So you can do a departure, an arrival, or an approach. Well, we're going to do the approach, and we're going to do the RNAV to 28 right Yankee, GPS LPV. We'll take that. Now, if you look at the vectors, you got BBUB and symbol. If you were to view the chart earlier, you would know that BBUB is the one to get. So how would you not know that? Let's take a peek here. Let's go to menu and go to charts. And there's the airport diagram. We want to do the approaches. Here's the ILS. No, we want the RNAV 28 right. And it will go full. And you'll see that BBUB is here. We're coming in from here. So we're up here. BBUB is here. And symbol's down here. So if you're coming in from here, it makes sense to take BBUB. If you're coming up from the south or the east, it makes sense to do symbol. So we're going to go back to the map and the flight plan, and we're going to take the load procedure approach. RNAV for 28 right Yankee.
5321, 7 Foxtrot Alpha.
Right there, 28 right Yankee. And the vectors, we'll take BBUB, and then we'll load the approach. And now you see it in there. So the way it goes is
November 3 Sierra Juliet, contact approach 125.25, good day.
2525, 3 Sierra Juliet, thanks and good morning. All right, 2525. You don't have to hit the 1, it's just a habit I'm used to. And then XFR is transfer, enter will put it in the standby. But if you do 2525 transfer, it goes right to it. NorCal, good morning. Golden Eagle 5 and 3 Sierra Juliet checking on level 7000 direct Sunol.
Golden Eagle 5, 1 3 Sierra Juliet, NorCal first. Rudder, turn 10 degrees right for traffic.
10 degrees right for traffic, 3 Sierra Juliet. All right, so over here, I will center the heading bug, move it 10 right, and then change it to
Right,
heading, and you'll see a little bit of a right turn.
For flight 249, roger. Contact approach on 127.
So what I'll do here is I'll just recenter the needle, the RNAV, because she'll give me...
Number 3 Sierra Juliet, clear direct Sunol.
3 Sierra Juliet, we're going direct Sunol now, thanks. All right, so now we're turning. You can see these start to change, the direct track and the track. So we're back to Sunol. Let's go, back to this now. So here's our flight plan. Sunol, then Oakland, we have the approach, all of the usual suspects, Grove at 3400, Erzaf 2700, Nixty, and the final approach at Kufsa at 1500. So we have that, and then the runway. So those are the correct altitudes for that. Now we can hold this down again and go back to the map.
Golden Eagle 3 Sierra Juliet, contact approach on 125.1 today.
25-1, 3 Sierra Juliet. NorCal, good morning. Golden Eagle 5 and 3 Sierra Juliet checking on 7000.
Golden Eagle 513 Sierra Juliet, contact approach, stock altimeter 3006.
30 Juliet. So back to this. So I got the databases. You know, the direct track and the track to where you're going, ground speed and your vertical speed required to get there. Right now it thinks we're going to BBUB at 5,000, so we're going to ignore that. This is estimated time to destination and distance to destination. And down here is estimated time en route to Sunol and the distance to Sunol. So the difference when you have a big old flight plan in the system, you see it says 30 minutes. That's not what it would take to go to Oakland. What it's computing here is going to Rebus after the miss, because there was no Oakland at the end. That's my fields on the right side here. Let me go back to the map on this one. I try to emulate the same fields for the most part. The only thing I have differently, instead of ground speed here, I have time to the top of the descent, which I like to use. But right now I want to do traffic just to watch out for it. So that's all. We'll get the ATIS here shortly. Let's see if we can get it, yeah. Okay, when you hear information Yankee on both sides, you know you got the whole ATIS. So 3011 is the altimeter, everything else is just like it's set on the ADS-B weather. So while we're waiting here, you can see that Oakland is standbying the ILS. So I'm going to put the ILS in here as a standby, even though we're choosing the approach. The approach we've chosen is the RNAV 28 right Yankee. So I have my checklist is load the approach, check, brief the approach plate. Well, we kind of did that, but let's go here to home charts. And here's the approach plate.
30 Juliet, descend and maintain 6,000.
30 Juliet down to 6,000. All right, so we go 6,000, put it down, bingo, bango, bango, here we go. So missed approach, climb to 3,000, direct to Zermo, and track 335 to Rebus and hold. You always consider you're going to do the missed approach. You never assume you're not, because every flight should be a missed approach, and if you happen to see the runway, you can land. Then you go down here and you got Bebub, you got Nagby, you got Grove, you got Urzaf, you got Nixie, then you got Kusa as the final approach fix. And you look down here and you see the slope looks like standard 3 degrees slope. And now what's your minimums? LPV minimums 207. And if you're going to do the LNAV 387 and the circling 560. So in case they tell us we got a circle for any reason, we're going to do 560. So that's good. We've briefed the approach plate. Set minimums now. So now we'll put this back to the map. We'll go over here. We'll go to our flight plan page. We'll go to the third page. Here's the RNAV. We're going to hit menu. We're going to hit set minimum, barometric pressure, and it was 207. 207. Enter. It popped up over here. Get rid of that. Put this back up. What we do is we fly the HSI. That's what you fly. You fly the HSI. This is more informational. You can see where it's going. You're not driving a car. You're not following a road on GPS. You're flying the HSI. And next is when on inbound course, activate vectors to final, and then take it off GPS and arm the approach, confirm flight slope capture. So he hasn't asked me what approach we'd like. So I might as well tell him, he'll pass it on. And NorCal 3 Sierra Juliet, we'd like to do the RNAV 28 right Yankee at Oakland today.
3 Sierra Juliet, roger. November 3 Sierra Juliet, contact approach 125.35.
2535, 3 Sierra Juliet, thanks and good morning. All right, so we wait, make sure nobody's talking. NorCal, good morning, Gold Eagle 5 and 3 Sierra Juliet, checking on, leaving 6,300 for 6,000 for Sonol, and we'd like the RNAV 28 right Yankee today.
Yeah, 5 and 3 Sierra Juliet, knock at the approach out over to 3011, expect NAGB for the RNAV right to approach.
All right, we'll expect NAGB. Right now we're heading to Sonol and 3011 on the barometer. 3 Sierra Juliet. Okay, 3011. Okay, so he says expect NAGB. So let's just make sure, I know it's in there, but what I'd like to do is you take a look here. There's NAGB, it's right after Bebub, and that's 4,200 feet for the crossing. So it's a simple boom, direct when the time comes. So right now we're just gonna leave it on map. And I'm gonna move the traffic screen here. Now, while I have a second here, when you're within certain miles, which you said the default is 10 of an airport, an icon will pop up here. It'll steal this data field and ask you if you want to do the visual. Well, I don't want to lose any data fields here. So on the menu, under map setup, under visual approach selector, I have it turned off. You can turn it on to one of these. And so I let it show up over here. And if I want it, then I'll just put it in. Okay, he just
reiterate, maintain present speed or greater to NAGB. Present speed or greater to NAGB, 21 Charlie.
21 Charlie. I wonder who 21 Charlie is. He's gotta be, he's here. 21 Charlie, 272. I think he can have no problem keeping his speed up.
We will cancel radar services in a bit.
We're doing 194 knots. We have no tailwind, no headwind. And we're straight and level now. So I'm going to start reducing power. A couple inches every 2 minutes.
513 Sierra Juliet cleared direct to NAGV, join the runway 28 right and final approach course.
Okay, 3 Sierra Juliet, we're heading for NAGV, we'll join the approach course. Okay, there's activate, boom, you can see the line. And he said to fly to NAGV and intercept the final approach course. We're switching over to the left camera here. Here's the depiction. Now, if you wanted to know the preview here, you could go to your flight plan under menu and do a preview. And you can see you're coming into NAGV. So what you want to know what you're doing. So you're out here, and you're coming into NAGV. Then you're making a right turn.
Cancel IFR and cancel radar services. Hey, Foxtrot, thanks for the help.
Now, what I don't remember, if he didn't say anything about an altitude, about a crossing. So I'm going to double check. And 3 Sierra Juliet confirming we're still 6,000. I don't remember if you told me to descend.
Yeah, 3 Sierra Juliet, just getting to that, instead of maintain 5,000.
Okay, 5,000, just checking, and we're leaving 6, 3 Sierra Juliet.
Last club, 26 flying, I got 220, instead of maintain 4,000.
You know, I always say, if you don't know, ask. Doesn't hurt to ask. They'd rather have you ask than blow something. So I can look out the front window here. It's been a little hazy, but you can see the marine layer. It's more to the left and the right.
3,000.
Straight ahead is not so much. But
yeah, True Sierra Juliet, 8 miles from NAGV, cross NAGV at about 4,200, cleared, RNAV, Yankee runway 28 on bridge.
3 Sierra Juliet, 4,200 to NAGV, cleared for the approach. All right, so we're cleared for the approach, which means we can intercept the glide slope. Now you can't activate vectors to final until you're actually on vectors to final, because it'll take you to the final approach fix. And so if you're outside of it, go back to the flight plan. We'll go back to the preview here real quick. So if you're where are you out here? If you're out here and you activate vectors to final, zippity-doo-dah, you're going to go straight to CUFSA. And it'll be drawing a line across here. Wrong. You got to wait until you're inbound, and then you can activate it. So I'm going to go down and get that 4,200, keep producing power, and fly it inbound. So we're a minute and 42, let's call it a minute 30 because we're picking up speed to NAGV. We're going down 1,000 feet a minute, which means we're going to be at 4,200 feet a minute. That's a good rate of descent. So you heard him say, he gave somebody tower 18.3. So I'm going to do 118.3 and just put it in the standby. So we're eavesdropping on the other plane coming in. So NAGV in a minute, and we have just 600 feet to go. So Papa Gump's pressurization check. Air conditioning is off. Prop sync never had it on. Auxiliary pumps on. And fuel for the Gumps, fuel is on
Tower 27-2, last
on the mains. So that's all we're going to do right now. So we're coming up on our 4,200. It's 4,400. And there's our turn inbound at NAGV. So now it's safe to go here and take the approach, activate vectors to final. It'll turn inbound. There's our 4,200. Autopilot locked it up very nicely. You can look at the front window and see the cloud layer, hence the reason for the IFR and the ILS, or the RNAV approach. The instrument approach. So we're going to capture NAGV, which is the glide slope right here, 4,200. We're at NAGV now. And now we're heading to CUFSA. So we're just going to follow the ILS down. No step downs now because we activated vectors of final, which put CUFSA in as the final approach fix as the next waypoint. And we have to couple the approach. So we're a little above the glide slope. I'm pushing the nose down to go capture the glide slope. If you see up here, it'll see GS. When this comes in, it'll say glide slope. Better to be above the glide slope than below it. All right, so
Julie, contact Oakland Tower, 11.3.
18-3 for the tower, 3 Sierra Juliet. Watch it come up. Tower, good morning. Gold Eagle 513 Sierra Juliet checking in with you on the approach for 28 right.
Gold Eagle 513 Sierra Juliet, Oakland Tower, runway 28 right, clear to land, the wind 240 at 5.
Clear to land 240 at 5, 3 Sierra Juliet, 28 right. And 3 Sierra Juliet, tops here 2,600. So we'll keep slowing down. We're not within gear speed yet. There it comes.
710 affirmative,
Bumps.
ground now 121.7.
And we're out of the yellow, so it's okay for the bump. But we need 176 to put the gear down. And we're 40 seconds to Kufsa. Final approach fix. Let's add some speed brakes to slow down so we can drop the gear. So we did the Papa Gumps. We're at Gumps now. So we gas. We have the gas on main. Undercarriage coming up next. So 175, 176, 177. That's gear speed. Let's pull some more power back and drop the gear and lose the speed brakes. And 3 Sierra Juliet, airport in sight at 1,700.
1,700, thank you.
All right, so now we're just riding it in. I'd like to say localizer glide slope, but that comes from my old ILS training days, but it's the same thing. You're on the approach and you're on the glide slope. You're on the approach, you're on the glide slope. So lateral, vertical, lateral, vertical, lateral, vertical. And I get criticized for this, but I don't put the flaps to full until the minimums because I can handle the change of configuration. Some of you can't. If you can't, don't do it. Don't do it. Put them down now if you want, but I'm going to ride it in. All right, so we got 3 green. So gas check undercarriage, we got 3 greens. Mixture up, 10 notches, 15 degrees of flaps. First notch of flaps. My Garmin Pilot decided to not work anymore, but I can't be bothered with it since it's just a VFR backup. We're a minute from touchdown.
This is 9 from Lima, your B number 2. You're following a Golden Eagle on a 2-mile final. Report traffic in sight.
We're looking 9
So we're going to count down 600. Minimum's 207. 550. There's traffic that showed up. 600 on the downwind here. You can see it there. We'll get that out of the way. 440.
This is 9 from Lima. The traffic should be passing up.
220. 400.
Traffic in sight, 9 from Lima.
This is 9 from Lima. Number 2, runway 28 right, clear for the option, wind calm.
Number 2.
340.
28 right, 9 from Lima.
300. 280. 260. 240.
Minimums.
Full flaps. One more look at the 3 greens. And a nice smooth landing.
And number 3 Sierra Juliet, where do you park today?
3 Sierra Juliet, Port-a-Ports.
Roger, turn right to Juliet, and Delta to Port-a-Port.
Okay, for a little back taxi here, real quick.
Sure, no delay, please.
3 Sierra Juliet, roger. No delay, back taxi. Port-a-Ports with you. All right, so quite a morning. Dead battery. Charge it up. Hopefully we had enough to charge it in flight. We're going to find out when I shut it down. We're going to see if they'll start. All right, off the runway. Fuel pumps off. Flaps up. That's all you're going to touch. If not, battery's got to come out and get charged up. So I hope that was informative. Thanks for riding along.
All right, let's see if the battery's charged up in flight. I'm going to try to turn the starter. Oh yeah, baby. That might work.
You understand, Captain, that this mission does not exist, nor will it ever exist.